I told you about meeting Johnny Cash and mowing Robert Heinlein's lawn and dancing on stage with Lionel Hampton when I was 7. But have I ever told you about the time when I touched Geraldo Rivera? He was a newsman in New York City at the time, and he was an advocate and did a lot of good things on behalf of folks with developmental disabilities. And he did telethons, local telethons from New York City. And I would stay up all night, pledge $5 over the phone. And when I was in 7th grade, I organized some of my fellow students, and we went around to different shopping centers and collected money for the upcoming telethon that Geraldo Rivera was having. I think we came up with close to $500. But the next year, I was determined to be part of the telethon itself. So I got on the bus and took the 2-hour bus trip to New York City. And then I got off at the Port Authority bus terminal and walked, the 2 miles to the television studio where the telethon was happening, and stood in line with all the other people, and it was very strange. There I was. I was dressed all in white. I remember that, and I had long hair, and I was a chunky kid, and so we get shuffled in, we get herded in for the telethon. We'd been in line for like an hour and a half or something. It was hot, I remember that. And we go in and we sit there in a grandstand thing, and I'd never been in a television studio like that before. And so there we are, and they've got people, they've got monitors, and they've got people telling us when to applaud and when not to applaud. And here comes the telethon, and it was weird, a TV thing. I remember seeing Barry Manilow in a corner. He was a guest. He was lip syncing a song. That was interesting. But then Geraldo himself is coming up through the audience, and I'm sitting on the end aisle, and he's coming up, and I'm watching the monitor, and there he is, and there I am, and I'm on television with Geraldo Rivera, and I remember I'm in this white outfit and glowing, and I reached over and I touched his arm as he went by. Much to my surprise, they heard us all out and got the next section of audience, which has been waiting outside, ready, and they heard them. They heard us out, and they heard them in. And then the evening is now falling in New York City, and I've got the 2-mile walk or whatever it is back down whatever street it was, I forget. I know it was through Times Square, back down to the Port Authority to get back on the bus for the 2-hour trip back home. And I'm walking along, and I am suddenly walking next to this fellow who is talking to me about many different things about life. He was an interesting fellow. I'm not sure. I wish I could remember his name. He was a good soul. And he went on about interesting things, and he was talking directly to me and making sense to my 14-year-old confused self. And it gave me the feeling that I could do things